From the beginning of the hospice movement, volunteers have been at its heart. They laugh and cry with patients and their families. They help ease the load for caregivers who are caring for dying loved ones while struggling with their own grief and despair. No task is too big or too small for these very special people who make a difference in the lives of so many. Meet some real-life angels, the Hospice Volunteers of Brevard. Annette Parker is a tiny woman in body, but she has a huge heart. As one of her patients' health declined, the patient increasingly worried about her pet cat Marmalade's future. As an animal lover herself, Parker knew well the importance of supporting the patient's relationship with her pet. Annette herself had 3 cats already, but at the patient's request, she agreed to provide a home for Marmalade. After settling the cat at her house, Parker immediately called the patient to report the good news that Marmalade was content, curled up and enjoying his first nap in his new home. Not long after that, Parker received word from the hospice team that the patient had passed away peacefully, knowing her pet was safe. More than 120 teens from high schools all across Brevard bring smiles and laughter to the lives of hospice patients served by Hospice of Health First. The stereotype of the self-obsessed teen is nowhere to be found among these young people. The students earn hours for bright future scholarships, but many continue to volunteer for many years after earning their required hours. Since its inception in 2004, Teens Linking Lives, or TL2, has provided more than 5,000 hours of service to hospice patients. Under the supervision of volunteer coordinator Danielle Armstrong, the students visit various assisted living facilities and nursing homes. Having your child in TL2 helps them develop compassion, understanding, and the ability to listen and provide comfort to those in their final days, says a proud parent. Rennick Nick Hendren's association with hospice started with the children of Camp Hope, Wusthof Hospice's program to help children over the loss of a loved one. He was familiar with the work of hospice through his mother, mother-in-law, and nephew, who all benefited from hospice care during their lives' end. He provides transportation and also delivers favorite meals, often cooked by him, to patients who might yearn for a special dish. I ask them what they would like to eat, and I make sure they get it, says Hendren. He also works at the Dr. J. Pillai Center for Hospice Care at Wasden Woods in Rockledge, where he has acquired a reputation as the go-to chef for families visiting patients at the hospice house. 8 years ago, Rose McDonald experienced a rebirth of faith. I became a born-again Christian, and I wanted to do something for the Lord, says the Melbourne resident. McDonald has taken 6 hospice patients under her wing, visiting them weekly at nursing homes and private residences to chat, listen, and provide music therapy. Like all hospice volunteers, McDonald has to cope with the inevitable passing of the patients who have become friends. It's very hard, she says. Sometimes I visit them for months and get to know the spouse and the rest of the family. I cry and pray for the family. Central Florida Humanitarians and Real Life Angels, the Hospice Volunteers.